You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
It is finally here, folks. The NBL Season 30 Super Bowl is tonight. We will crown a champion. And we have a great battle. It is the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. And before we get there, of course, we have our NBL Live pregame show brought to you each and every week by our graphics sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do a ton of graphics for the entire NBL network, and they're doing a great deal. All business over there helping us out. If anybody you know or yourself needs some graphics done for an affordable price, hit up Web3KS.com. Let them know NBL sent you. They'll give you 15% discount on your entire order. Web3KS.com. The leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU, and I got beside me the two commissioners of the NBL, Bomber, Lip. Bomber, I know you'd rather, of course, be in the Super Bowl playing for that Season 30 title, but it's a great night here on the network. Our friends over at EA Madden NFL will be hosting us in just a couple minutes, and we get to crown a champion for Season 30.
Yeah, absolutely excited to be here. NBL Live broadcast number, what is it, 204? As I situate my mic a little bit. 204, Super Bowl 30. We got the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the red-hot Minnesota Vikings. And I guess the Chargers are red-hot, too. You wouldn't get here unless you were red-hot. Both of these teams red-hot. Two different styles of play. I'm very excited to see how this kind of meshes. And I think we're going to learn a lot about these two teams in the first quarter and a half. I think that's going to kind of dictate the outcome of the game. And we'll see whoever makes the best adjustments throughout the game is going to win this one. But I'm kind of leaning in a little bit of a weird direction right now. I'll share my opinion a little bit later, but really excited to be here. What a great day for the NBL.
And an absolutely fantastic day here on Season 30 Super Bowl, hosted by the EA Madden NFL Twitch. Guys can get a little taste of what the NBL is all about, but I think the most interesting part for me, Lip, is we get to see sort of some interesting storylines. The Chargers trying to get over that hump, get that Super Bowl title here in this cycle. The Vikings, who have been sort of dancing around getting to the Super Bowl, are finally getting an opportunity to get a title. It's storylines galore tonight.
Yeah, for the longest time, the talk had always been about the Chargers not being able to get back and ever get there and walk away with a championship. And on the other side, for the Vikings, the talk had always been they play so well during the regular season, and then round one of the playoffs come, and they are a completely different team. They completely just play a different game that resembles nothing of the hot play that they had during the regular season. There's a stat that I'm excited to talk about tonight, but it's going to be a great game no matter who wins, and I'm very excited for these two owners, these two teams, and NBL and the network. I'm very excited for tonight.
What a great show we have tonight, folks. As always, our pregame show for the Super Bowl. We got a couple awards to give out, and the first one we're going to give out is our Achievement in Media Excellence Award, given out by the network director to the person who has given the most this particular season to the network. And if I have this queued up correctly, this should be it. There it is, right there. Old Tony Bradbury. Sonny Weaver getting the Achievement in Media Excellence Awards. Bomber, we know what Sonny does in front of the camera with highly debatable NBL play-by-play action. But on top of that, he's really been one of the biggest proponents for getting some of these After Effects graphics. And he's been really crunching down lately. Came in from Vegas last night on 4 hours sleep and did a ton of graphics for not only highly debatable, but also for the Super Bowl tonight. Been cranking those out at an unbelievable pace, and certainly deserving of the Achievement in Media Excellence Award.
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of positive things for us this season. He's stepping back up. We absolutely love it when Sonny Weaver is locked in and focused, but only one thing would have made it better if the entire NBL network didn't know that he's on 4 hours of sleep and he took a red eye yesterday, because he said it about 4 or 5 times to each of us and DM'd everybody. But nonetheless, it was some great work, and he's been doing great. I vouched for him for NBL Member of the Month. I know Lip was behind that train as well. No pun intended. Train was probably behind
Train
it too,
didn't get it. Train did not get that.
Yeah. So essentially, big shout out to Sonny Weaver. the underachiever in the game, but he's overachieving right now, and that's why he got the NBL Member of the Month for April 2018, as he was our first NBL Member of the Month. You can find that on 365.maddenbomberleague.com.
And big shout out to Sonny Weaver for being the Achievement in Media Excellence Award winner here for season number 30. All right, the other award we got to give out is our NBL Live Game of the Year, and this was the most competitive I've ever seen it. There are some years where it's very obvious what it is. This was not one of them. But the winner of the Game of the Year for season 30 is the Week 17 matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs. This matchup not only was huge because it had implications. The winner gets that last wild card spot. And then they went out and put on an unbelievable game. TJ Logan going into the end zone late to put the Chiefs up 5. When that happened, Sonny and I were on the call, and Sonny goes, that was a mistake, and the Browns made him pay by finding Zach DeManch on 4th and 25 with 4 seconds left to put the Browns in the playoffs, an 80-yard touchdown. What an unbelievable game. So many great games on the NBL Network, but that one had a new level of excitement.
Absolutely. The biggest thing about that game was, like you said, whenever Logan went into the end zone, he had a terrible game all night. The very first thing that he does in a possible positive light is that, and it's everybody just looks around thinking, what is going on? Because they left so much time. And then the big thing was Zach DeManch just took the game into his hands and completely put the Cleveland Browns on his back. And it was an incredible game. Just as far as how competitive it was, but like you said, the fact that the playoff spot was on the line made it an absolutely monumental game, and it was incredible to watch. But a great season again, 2 seasons in a row here. Phenomenal season of games all year long on the NBL Network for NBL Live.
Yeah, a great game. Congratulations to both Star and Draco for the Game of the Year winner for Season 30. And again, you can find...
Also, let me interject something real quick about the Game of the Year. I'm actually going to be making a playlist for it on our youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. You can find all of our archived content on there. I actually didn't watch this game. I don't know what I was doing, but I missed it. I don't know if I was out of town or what had happened.
It was WrestleMania.
That was the start of your trip.
Okay, so I missed that game. I actually want to go back and watch it, but it also reminded me of something that Gub suggested that we do that I'm actually bringing up live to our network director right now. I'm going to make a playlist and just add those games that win the Game of the Year, and just add them into a playlist called Game of the Year and just take it there. So everybody who's watching now says, hey, man, I want to relive some great games of NBL throughout the day. You can go to the playlist and hit the Game of the Year playlist tab, and then I'll have those all in there, and I'll just grab those from the 365.maddenbomberleague.com website. It just made me think of that right now. So big shout out to Gub for that idea. I think it was a pretty simple idea that'll put a lot of our great games in one little spot. So if you wanted to get a little taste of the previous Game of the Year winners, you can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Madden Bomber League.
And as always, if you want to check out all the winners of our Game of the Year, Owner of the Year, all that stuff, Achievement in Media Excellence, it's on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. All right. It's enough awards. Let's talk about the game we have tonight. The Vikings and the Chargers facing off. And Bomb, we're going to talk about the Vikings first. And as we play, by the way, big shout out to Andrew Linhart in the grid for these videos. The Vikings had an interesting road to the Super Bowl. Had to go through the Atlanta Falcons, a team that I think is one of the up-and-coming ones in the league with Brody Denton. Bomber, the biggest thing that stood out to me about this Vikings team in both this game and in the NFC Championship game was how well their defense played compared to where their stats are. Most people say it's their weakness, but they forced a lot of turnovers here in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're a ball-hawking secondary. The linebacker core is great against the run, actually. I don't know how they're going to be tonight, and we'll talk about that when I give my prediction here in just a little bit. But this team is very good and very quick to get past the line of scrimmage and really push your running back either outside or inside, basically force them in the direction that's the strength of the defense. They do a great job using. There's a lot of positive things on this. What a lot of people say is an undermanned team, and if you look at the stats, they were 21st in points allowed, 29th in yards allowed, yards total allowed, passing yards, they were 26th as a defense, 27th against the rush. Those are not good numbers. But when you create turnovers and you're a ball-hawking defense, everything changes, and none of that matters. And their offense has been so high-powered, it's kind of worked in their favor. Very similar to kind of like that Kurt Warner offense that we saw with the St. Louis Rams. I don't know if you're old enough to remember this. OSU,
greatest show on turf.
The greatest show on turf, and they had a defense that wasn't necessarily the best, but could create turnovers, and even more earlier, you can look at the New Orleans Saints last time they won the championship. Their defense was not that great on paper, and they had a lot of guys that were questionable, but they created turnovers, and that kind of became their niche. And that's what makes this team so dangerous. They make you turn the ball over, and their offense makes you pay for that.
Yeah, and sort of the player, let's take a look at the player to watch for the Minnesota Vikings. It is, of course, Jack Gerberry, who had an absolutely unbelievable season. 41 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, almost 5,000 passing yards, a completion percentage of 70%. Bomber, this guy, maybe gets overshadowed a little bit by the Matthew Staffords, the Ben Roethlisberger, but he had a fantastic year. The other guy who I was so impressed with in the playoffs is Javonte Turner. We know about Stephon Diggs, but Turner was sort of the go-to, especially in that NFC Championship game. And this matchup of Gerberry and Turner with Cook in the backfield, this is an explosive offense to deal with.
And you also got to look at Christian Hutchins, another speedy guy that can get down the field and get vertical, really opens up this run attack. They do a great job using their vertical attacking offensive wide receivers. I call them offensive weapons. And they got one really great wide receiver in Stephon Diggs, who pretty much can catch anything and do it all. And they just allow the running game to kind of be opened up because you have to respect the vertical attacking routes. They just do a great job of mixing up, and they have a plethora of people. I mean, let's talk about Jack Gerberry, who's sixth overall pick in the NBL Season 28 rookie draft. They moved up to get him. They were coming off a year where they didn't even make the playoffs. They come out and get Jack Gerberry. I mean, it was almost like a Tim Duncan, San Antonio Spurs kind of story where they just had a bad season, and they were able to capitalize on that bad season and bring in a quarterback, a star player that's pretty much changing the wave of this franchise. And here they are in NBL Season 30 Super Bowl, going to take on the Chargers. And they're very favored in this game in my mind.
And let's take a look at how the LA Chargers got here, that first round bye being champions of the AFC West. There's maybe a little worry about overlooking the Jacksonville Jaguars in that divisional round. No worries about that. They went out and shellacked the Jaguars 30-0. Then faced off against your Pittsburgh Steelers team. And we talk about Melvin Gordon. He's having a more down year than last year because he rushed for over 2,000 yards last year. Only 1,600 this year. But what sort of matchup is Melvin Gordon? How do you stop this guy defensively?
Well, I think whenever Melvin Gordon wants to get his large chunks of yard, they're on those stretch plays. He is really good at hitting the right hole just on the outside. He's not an outside runner like a speed toss kind of guy, but those stretch plays, he is absolutely phenomenal at hitting the hole at the exact right time and getting up the field. Now, you talked about it here. He's down a couple yards to 1,500. Had more carries this year than last year, but just averaged 2 yards less per carry. But that's still an incredible season, almost 1,600 yards and 19 touchdowns. But the biggest focus that I would put on these Chargers is that their defense, we know they brought in Malik McDowell in free agency last year. That has led to them being number one against the rush on the defensive side of the ball. Now, you look at the Vikings, Jack Gerberry's a star. We know that. Dalvin Cook has kind of taken a backseat to Gerberry so far. So it's really going to be on Gerberry to pass against this Chargers defense. Now, the thing is, the Chargers defense, that secondary is fading. They are 30th in the league against the pass. So the big thing for them is to just rely on their run game, their run defense, but really focus on taking away the pass, because that's how the Vikings are going to attack them tonight. And if we don't see the Chargers come away with a victory tonight in this Super Bowl, if they don't get it done tonight, I'm going to say that the window is completely going to be shut because of the aging of the secondary. So that's what I'm going to be watching tonight, is Gerberry and how the secondary of the Chargers can step up and fight the aging and come away with a Super Bowl title.
And first of all, welcome to everybody who is joining us on the EA Madden NFL channel. Big shout out to our friends over at the EA Madden NFL Twitch channel for hosting our NBL Super Bowl tonight, folks. This is CFM action, Super Bowl for Season 30 of the Madden Bomber League. The Chargers and the Vikings facing off tonight. NBL Live broadcast number 204. The player to watch for the LA Chargers, of course, Casey Hayward at cornerback. 4 interceptions, 10 passes deflected, 2 defensive touchdowns. But folks, I know everybody is itching just to get to the ball game. The Chargers and the Vikings. Get your predictions in the chat. We'd love to see what you guys think is going to go on tonight. But Bomber, you've been teasing it a little bit throughout this pregame show. Who do you like to come out on top and get that title for the Season 30 Super Bowl?
All right, I was conflicted last night. I was thinking about these two teams. They're so different, but they're almost so alike at the same time. But I think the high-octane, vertical, greatest show on turf, if you will, the Minnesota Vikings are going to take it tonight, 31-24 over the Los Angeles Chargers. I think the Chargers make it close at the end, but they don't get that miracle that they needed against the Steelers. It doesn't happen twice because they're not that nice. And I think tonight the Vikings get their first NBL Super Bowl, and it's going to be a special showdown. Skull Vikings right now. Yeah, I'm saying it. I think they take the Super Bowl right now.
Lip, how about you? Are you going with the Vikings as well, or do you think Melvin Gordon and one of those teams that people are waiting to take that leap this cycle, the LA Chargers are going to get the victory today and get the title?
I'm not a big fan of things. I don't think things repeat themselves too often. I think the Chargers are going to come away with the Super Bowl title tonight because last night in the AFC Championship, they were phenomenal. Or 2 nights ago in the AFC Championship, they were phenomenal on third down. Some of the best third down play I've ever seen from Carson Wentz in this Chargers offense. Like I've talked about, every time we've looked at the Chargers, they make incredible adjustments at halftime. And those are the reasons why I'm going with the Chargers 28-24 over the Vikings to become Super Bowl champions.
Folks, I'm just holding the belt. Only one of these teams who's playing tonight, Chargers and Vikings, going to get this belt right here and get the title. We've got a great matchup. We appreciate all you tuning in. It should be a fantastic night here on the NBL Network. But let's get to the game, folks. Coming up next, it's time to crown a champion here for Season 30, broadcast number 204 of NBL Live. It's Melvin Gordon and the Los Angeles Chargers taking on Dalvin Cook and the Minnesota Vikings. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Craig Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network.
And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He is looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is
touchdown.
dropping back. He's got open over the middle. It's
Wow. That big playmaker
Look at
ability as
him
he
go.
finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. Saturday night CFM action here on the EA Madden NFL Twitch. Big shout out to everyone sticking around for the NBL Super Bowl for Season 30. It is the Los Angeles Chargers champions of the AFC West taking on the Minnesota Vikings, getting in as a wild card team out of that NFC North. Should be a great battle tonight, folks, and we've got a great commentary team. I'm OSU, your NBL Network Director, and joining me tonight on the call are the 2 NBL commissioners. We got Bomber and we got Lip, and let's go to Bomber first. Bomber, this Minnesota Vikings team playing their division, owner of the Detroit Lions. You played these Vikings twice. You played them in the NBL, the NFC Championship game here in the NBL 2 nights ago. How impressed are you by where this Minnesota Vikings team has gotten, especially since the young quarterback Jack Gerberry got at the helm?
Yeah, it's all been about the maturation of Jack Gerberry. I mean, this kid was a 6th overall pick, NBL Season 28 rookie draft. We're now in NBL Season 30. This is the 5th season in the Madden 18 cycle, and we're seeing a completely different Minnesota Vikings team than we saw before Jack Gerberry stepped foot in this field. This guy pretty much can do it all. He can sling it down the field. He can go underneath. He can run with his legs. You're going to see a lot of Jack Gerberry tonight. Expect to be impressed.
And Gerberry dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. He's going to find Gates out of the backfield up to the 29-yard line. Barber, let's give him a taste of what they can expect in terms of the NBL rules. You're not going to see repeat play calling. Different names are required for each play, so each play is only going to be called once. No killing the clock until under 2 minutes. Defense must not be more than 70% of one time. If a defensive player is moved pre-snap, you must stay on him. Bomber, a lot of people talk about that one play call rule. That's just how we do it here in the NBL. Everybody else has a different way that they do it. That's just our interpretation, and that's what you're going to see tonight.
Yeah, it's a deep dive into your playbook. You have to be able to do multiple concepts, run multiple sets, and do multiple things, kind of creating this chess match that our members enjoy. As we said, we're not for everyone, but it's going to be very enjoyable to watch, whether you agree with the rules or not.
A deep pass down the left sidelines, and Stephon Diggs. Oh, what a throw by Jack Gerberry. A tough read right there, Bomber. In between the two zones, it had to be a perfect throw to Diggs up the sidelines, and Gerberry put it on the money.
Yeah, nice little back shoulder throw on the go route on the left side. I think there was a hard flat down there with the cornerback. He shrugs the press off and gets that separation between the cornerback and the safety. Nice back shoulder throw there for Jack Gerberry to his favorite target, Stephon Diggs.
1st and 10, I formation for Gerberry. It's going to be a toss play for Dalvin Cook over the right side. And this LA Chargers defense is tough to run against, Bomber, because they've got some great defensive linemen and linebackers. Brown in on the tackle, but you're going to see Joey Bosa in the backfield. You're going to see this defense really get after the running game.
And since the just maturity and just growth of Jack Gerberry, we've seen a lot less Dalvin Cook. They've been saving him for situations like this to be healthy in the playoffs. He went from 1,600 yards, 1,300 yards, 1,000 yards, and then Gerberry came on the scene. He's done 759. So this team has been really pass heavy as of late in the last couple seasons.
2nd and 16 for Gerberry and the Minnesota Vikings. He drops back to pass on 2nd down, looking, waiting for somebody to come open. He finds Turner underneath, and that is Javonte Turner, the young wide receiver, second-year player for the Minnesota Vikings. Bomber, he really hasn't been he's been the number 2 wide receiver, but I think in the playoffs he's stepped up his play to another level.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why they're here. If he hadn't, they wouldn't be as far as they are. Watch them. They like to do a lot of audibles to the far right, far left on slants and wait for them to come across the field. Let's see if they can pick up this 3rd and 10. They did it so well against the Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship.
And now we got Gerberry in the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Dropping back 4 wide receivers, has the out route to Javonte Turner. Takes a big hit, but then he still gets the 1st down. And 4 for 4 to start the game from Jack Gerberry, Bomber. That's nothing unusual from this quarterback.
Yeah, you've seen him a lot of changes made at the line, a lot of hot routes, some out routes, just really simple throws. You got to put some pressure on this quarterback as well as some pressure on this receiving core. You can't let him walk into an out route. It's kind of like if you're watching the NBA playoffs, letting Steph Curry, I know he's not healthy right now, walk into a three-pointer. You can't let that happen for a defense. That's essentially what they just did on that out route. That was too easy. You got him in a 3rd and 10. You got to get him off the field.
2nd and 6 for Jack Gerberry and the Minnesota Vikings. He's going to come out 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Diggs to the left, Turner to the right. He's got Dalvin Cook in the backfield on 2nd down, just at the red zone at the 20-yard line. 3:19 counting on the first drive of the NBL Season 30 Super Bowl. Now 2nd and 6, it's a deep throw over the middle to the tight end, Dalman, and we have our first touchdown of the game as Jack Gerberry goes a perfect 5 for 5 down the field and finds his big tight end for a touchdown to put the Vikings up early as the extra point is up. It's good. It's 7-0 Vikings.
Yeah, a lot of adjustments being made at the line of scrimmage, changing routes. Gerberry is assessing the information, and basically the Chargers are not adjusting to the adjustments that Gerberry is making, and that was just too easy of a drive. And you're going to look, 2 minutes and 44 seconds, has gone off the clock, and basically all we saw was the Minnesota Vikings just walk down the field and complete a 3rd and long, a 2nd and long. This team just doesn't really seem to be fazed by any defense. If I'm the Chargers, I'm a little worried right now, and I need to come out and start throwing a little tricks at them on defense.
All right, Lip, now we get to see this Los Angeles Chargers offense come out on the field, and Carson Wentz at the helm now in LA as he breaks the huddle. He's going to come out with 2 wide receivers, Williams to the left, Keenan Allen to the right. He's got Hunter Henry down on the line, and Melvin Gordon at the top of that I formation. We'll get to Gordon in just a second as Wentz changes up the play as he surveys this defense. And on 1st and 10, it's him dropping back to pass and looking. Looks over the middle of the field on a delayed route. It is Allen on the dig route, 19 yards and a 1st down for Carson Wentz. You're seeing Wentz throw it here, Lip, but this team, it runs with Melvin Gordon, the first 2,000-yard rusher in NBL history. He is an absolute boon to deal with.
Yeah, and that was my big question for the Chargers. What kind of offense would we see? Would we see them come out with Gordon right away, or like they like to do, rely heavy on Carson Wentz to start the game? And we're seeing it right now.
As Gordon gets the carry up the middle It looks like Matty Low 952 in the chat saying, so your user can't leave his assigned zone in this league. That is true. Once the ball is thrown, you can leave your zone, Lip. It just keeps the integrity of the defense. Mostly because that camera angle, that over-the-top camera angle gives you an advantage.
Yeah, that's something that we have put in just to be a little more realistic, and we will allow you to move to the neighboring zone, as we call it. You can play your zone and over to the neighboring zone, which would be the next zone to your left or right. It's just something that we feel has just given a little bit more of a realistic feel to the game on defense.
As now it's going to be a 3rd and 5. Question in the chat, Loaded Lunatic asking if Gordon gets hurt, do the Chargers have a chance? Well, Lip, that's already happened in this playoffs, and McNichols came into the game. He was fantastic.
Yeah, the Chargers, that's one thing. They are, Melvin Gordon's very good, but they believe in their system. They believe in their offensive line. So when Gordon goes down, they have 2 guys that they can really rely on to pick up yards.
Oh, and it's a big pick there. The user pick by Herman floating back, and then he fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by Williams, and we're going to keep it in the hands of the LA Chargers. Almost a huge turn of events, a real nice play in the middle of that defense, but a big hit, and Williams recovers the fumble. Lip, I will give you $100 if you tell me how to score that play.
I am not sure, but that was 2 guys in one area there for the Chargers offense, and the linebacker was able to play it perfectly. Just could not hang onto the football. He's not an offensive guy. Puts it on the ground, and the Chargers get a huge break here early in the Super Bowl.
And now 2nd and 10 for the Chargers after that pass, looking for the post route on the left side. Could not complete it. And Carson Wentz and the Chargers come out with 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. It looks like McNichols into the game at halfback. And on 2nd and 10, it's going to be a draw play for McNichols, who goes over the right side. He's able to find a little bit of yardage over there, but it was a nice pulling block up the middle, Lip. And it looked like McNichols saw that middle linebacker and got intimidated when he should have actually run there because his blocker picked up that perfectly.
Yeah, it's a nice conservative play call there. They try to throw the Vikings defense off guard with that draw there. McNichols can do some good things, but when you have Melvin Gordon, I think it's time to let him run the ball. He's such a different back than the other backs.
And on 3rd and 7, it's Wentz dropping back to pass, 4-man rush. He's going to dump this off to the flat. That's Melvin Gordon, makes 1-man miss. Trying to get the first down, makes a 2nd-man miss, and he gets the first down. MG2K, the man himself, keeping the play alive, making 2 defenders miss, and getting a huge first down.
That is absolutely what Melvin Gordon can do for you. That play was dead. That was 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and Melvin Gordon said, just calm down, I got this, makes 2 men miss, and picks up the first down. Keeps the drive
8 yards
alive.
on that play. What a play by Melvin Gordon. Now 1st and 10, Wentz under center, McNichols into the game. He's going to get the carry on 1st and 10. Second time we've seen McNichols come into the game, and right there, he met Kendricks right up the middle, or excuse me, that was getting into the backfield and bring him down for a 2-yard loss. Going to bring up a 2nd and 12.
Yeah, and right there, that was a great play by the linebacker. Saw McNichols in there, thought that it might be something just to throw the defense off, but he was not fooled at all.
On 2nd and 12, it's going to be hand off to Gordon on the stretch play on the outside. Wilson tried to get the shoestring tackle, couldn't make it happen. Alexander gets spun out of his shoes, and Gordon turns a play that looked like a 4-yard loss. As Captain Kiki now following here on Twitch. Appreciate the follow. What looked like it was going to be a 4-yard loss actually turned into a 4-yard gain. Melvin Gordon doing what he does in the backfield.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon, he doesn't have 2,000 yards and 1,500 yards this year for nothing. He is unbelievable at staying on his feet when defenders are able to get a hand on him. You have to wrap this guy up and take him to the ground.
Wentz dropping back on 3rd and 8, looking for another big conversion. He's going to look for Gordon again. Trying to make a man miss, but Mackenzie Alexander says, no thank you, sir. You're going to stay right here. A big tackle. I didn't see if that was Gordon who went down on that play, but Minnesota's going to get the stop on 3rd down and force LA to kick a field goal.
Did not look like Gordon was injured on that play. We know that was a scary moment because of what happened in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, Gordon went down in the AFC title game, but they found a way to get the win with McNichols. Had a very nice game at halfback. And the passing attack with Carson Wentz was very good as they kick a good field goal there to put themselves just down a little bit less. 7-3 your score. Minnesota getting the ball back. Bomber, if you're the Minnesota Vikings, this has got to be the start. As Seth Sumlin's now following here on Twitch. Appreciate the follow. This has got to be the start that you were looking for from Jack Gerberry.
Yeah, if you had any questions about the Los Angeles Chargers and their ability to do anything in the Super Bowl, it's probably put points on the board. If you can go ahead 14-3 right now, that's a lot of pressure for Carson Wentz and his team. Watch Diggs, watch Turner on this fly route right here. They might look to take a shot down the field.
Shout out to Football Guy also following here on Twitch. Play action pass for Gerber as he drops back to pass. He'll look to the flat to Gates, who'll go out of bounds at the 33-yard line. 6-6, 85 yards. Bomber, we saw the injury on that play. It was actually the Chargers' 99 overall guard with a shoulder tear. This offensive line for the Chargers is their strength. Do you foresee any problems for them losing what is a very talented player?
Yeah, 99 overall. It doesn't get any better than that. That's going to be an issue, but they do have a couple guys on the bench that they've been building up. So I'm not too worried about it right now if I'm the Los Angeles Chargers. I'd be more concerned about stopping this Minnesota Vikings offense. The defense needs to step up right now and get them off the field.
Let's take a look at the players to watch for the Minnesota Vikings today. Gerber, Cook, Diggs, we've already talked about. DeJuan Berhe and Mackenzie Alexander. Bomber, we saw Mackenzie Alexander defensively on that last play, making a tackle on Melvin Gordon. As a nice out route to Stephon Diggs there. Alexander, a big leader in the secondary. He is so good around the ball, but what we saw right there was where he can really be effective, which is coming up and playing the run.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he comes in there, plays the run, makes a play, and that's what you're going to get from him. And in the Super Bowl, when the lights are bright, he's still out there making plays, so that's what you want from your big-time players.
Pistol formation for Gerber, 3 wide receivers over to the left side, 1 tight end, Dahlman on the right side of that formation. He's got Cook in the backfield on 1st and 10. It's going to be Gerber dropping back to pass. Blitz coming. It's picked up nicely. Gerber out of the pocket. He's going to chuck it down the field. His first incompletion of the day. Another injury on the play. And when you look at Jack Gerber's stats, Bomber, 70% completion percentage, 41 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, 4,900 yards. Even with Dalvin Cook, this is a pass-first offense, and with good reason with Jack Gerber at the helm.
Yeah, but watch Dalvin Cook. That doesn't mean he can get it done. This is a favorite run coming for the Vikings right here. Let's see if they can pick up some big yardage.
How about 3 yards?
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right. As Hawkins, the right tackle for the Vikings, should return to the game. As now a 3rd and 8 for the Vikings offense, looking to keep a little bit of momentum rolling as the Minnesota Vikings looking to get a Super Bowl title. Bomber. This is a team who's been looking for one. They just haven't been able to get out of the NFC.
Yeah, they've been looking. Now they're in the Super Bowl. This owner's been here before. He lost with the Oakland Raiders last Madden. He's trying to make up for that. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, now 3rd and 8, shotgun formation for Gerber. 3 wide receivers over to the right side, 1 over to the left. Look for Perriman in the slot. They love looking him on this seam route with those 2 high safeties as Gerber has Dalvin Cook also to his left, changing up the play. It's going to be Gerber dropping back to pass. Rush is coming. It's picked up nicely, gets it off underneath to Turner. But just that little bit of inaccuracy there, Bomber. It's a complete pass, but it's well short of the line. And the Chargers defense get a huge stop.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of hot routes early from this quarterback right now. Nearly every pass play he's making adjustment, kind of overthinking it right now, not trusting his routes and his plays that he's calling. Maybe a little nerves here from Jack Gerber.
T-Dot Gatsby now following here on Twitch. Appreciate all of our followers hanging out with us. And again, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you do, you'll be entered into all of our NBL giveaways. We're going to give away an NBL gift pack after the stream. Over on our Twitter at Bomber League, we'll announce the winner there. You must be subscribed to win, but that's a gift pack, including a custom controller and some other NBL swag, some gift cards valued over $150. We'll be giving them away on Twitter at Bomber League. As Melvin Gordon gets around the outside lip, you talked about it in the pregame. That's where he is most dangerous. He knows how to read when to go outside and when to cut it back in.
Yeah, and that was a power, but that was still kind of the same kind of let him go out to the outside, and we're going to see it again here.
And he's got some room
He knows
on the
what to do on the outside there.
Oh, he cuts it back up the middle. Sutton, the only one back. He's Gordon. Look at him. Weaving and winding and getting all the way up to the 32-yard line. Melvin Gordon showing off the patience. Another first down for the Chargers. And Lip, when Melvin Gordon gets going downhill, you better get out of the way.
There it is. There's that stretch play. He is so amazing on those, especially in open space. We've seen him make some incredible moves so far tonight on defenders. Get him in open space. He is just an unbelievable back.
Gamma JT, appreciate the follow. 1st and 10. It's McNichols on the outside. This is the speed back behind Melvin Gordon. He gets up near the first down marker. They'll give him the first 10 yards on the play. So after a relatively pass-heavy first drive, Lip, they've gone to the ground game, and it is working to perfection.
Oh, yeah, and it's so early you can have Melvin Gordon just run the ground game all night long, and that's just what you want to do if you're the Chargers, because like we said, their pass offense is not one to fear. Melvin Gordon is the big thing to fear here, and that's what the Vikings really need to try to take away.
Play action pass for Carson Wentz, rolling out to the right side, looking, looks down the field, and he finds a man. It is complete. Williams with the catch at the 7-yard line. 1st and goal now for the LA Chargers. Let's take a look at Carson Wentz stats on the season, Lip. 70% completion percentage, 19 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. The knock on him, maybe his propensity, as Merlin Spike now following on Twitch, his propensity to turn the ball over at key times. The handoff to Melvin Gordon up the middle gets a yard on the play. He's not a bad quarterback by any stretch of the imagination, Lip. He just gets a little wild with his throws.
Yeah, but the big thing that I like to see is that he's improved from last year to this year. The completion percentage went up from 64 to 70, and the quarterback rating went up from 90 to 103. That's big to me because he's taking the right steps, getting this offense under his belt, getting comfortable, and he's got one heck of a back in the backfield to take him on the way.
And Melvin Gordon takes a big hit at the 1-yard line. What a play there to keep Gordon out of the end zone. Now 3rd and goal, Lip. If you're the Minnesota Vikings, you've got to expect that Gordon's going to get it for a 3rd time.
Yeah, I believe that I have the athleticism and the talent at linebacker to sell out against the run. I want to make Carson Wentz make the right read and the right physical throw in this situation. I'm going to take away the run all day here from the Vikings.
Gordon not even on the field. It's McNichols into the game. And I think old Gubb recognized that one, seeing that Gordon wasn't on the field and going, I need my big back on the field.
Yeah, and what Gordon, especially in this situation, his ability to fall forward, it's on the one. So if he can just get to the line and fall forward, that's a big thing.
And it's going to be McNichols into the game nonetheless after the timeout on 3rd and goal. It's going to be hand up to the fullback. You don't have Melvin Gordon in there. Give it to the fullback. He has 5 carries on the year. Make that 6. Make that a touchdown and give the Chargers a lead. What a nice drive by Carson Wentz and mostly Melvin Gordon in the running game, getting the Chargers down the field. Kick is up. It is good. It is 10-7 Chargers here in the Season 30 Super Bowl.
Yeah, I actually think that that's a good play by the Chargers there. They put Nick Nichols in there, maybe to make the Vikings think that this is going to be some type of outside run, maybe the strong power to the right or the toss, and they just completely go the opposite direction with the fullback dive. The Chargers do not get worried when they get down any points at all. We saw them down big in the AFC Championship, and they were able to fight back. So that's something that they have no worries about, being down any amount of points in big games.
All right, Minnesota looking to respond here with some points of their own. 10-7 your score, folks, as Jack Gerbery is in the pistol formation with 3 wide receivers over to the left side, 1 tight end on the right. That is Dahlman on 1st and 10. It's Gerbery taking the snap. Blitz coming up the middle. It's picked up nicely, and he has a man. It is Hutchins. Open spin move. He'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. We talked about the Chargers offensive line, Bomber, but this Minnesota offensive line, while may not blow you up stats-wise, especially in the run game, they have protected Jack Gerbery very well.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've given Jack Gerbery the confidence to make these adjustments at the line of scrimmage, to move his pieces around and not feel hurried, and that's what's very important for this offense right now. I think they're fine. They're very good playing from behind. I think this is a big-time game for this team, but I think they're ready. I think they're ready to wear these shoes and come out here and get a clutch win. That's why I'm still behind this Minnesota Vikings offense.
Are you surprised that Dalvin Cook has his stats up on the screen? Only 119 carries, 755 yards, dealt with some injuries, 10 touchdowns. Is the low yardage number concerning at all to you?
No, I think they're saving him. I think it was a health thing. He's been getting hurt nearly every season. I think they're just looking to kind of save this guy right now and make him healthy for games like this. Expect a big game from Dalvin Cook, especially in the second half.
2nd and 6, shotgun formation for Gerbery. He's got 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Dahlman in the slot. It's going to be Gerbery dropping back to pass. He's going to find Dahlman on a drag route. Spin move, breaks another tackle. He'll get up to the 35-yard line. Both of these teams, Bomber, use their tight ends effectively. The Chargers love Hunter Henry and what they can do with him, but Minnesota has a pretty good tight end in Dahlman.
Yeah, they sure do, and it's somebody they can count on as he gets naked on the weak side right there, wide open, and now they're going to stand him up on the right side. I mean, he can pretty much do it all in the slot, standing up on the line of scrimmage. This guy's a big-time player for them.
And on 1st and 10, it's a toss underneath to Turner once again. He'll get the first down up to the 18-yard line. We're seeing the Chargers play a lot of man defense right now, and the Minnesota Vikings taking advantage right now, using those athletic wide receivers to get open underneath.
Yeah, absolutely. They're using their speed to their advantage. They spread them out. They got a lot of speedy wide receivers on this team, and then they counter that with also having Stephon Diggs, a receiver that can pretty much do it all. So they're going to use the speed to their advantage the best that they can. 1st
and 10, Gerbery dropping back to pass on 1st down, looking, and he finds Hutchins underneath, up towards the 8-yard line. Give him another 1st down. Dark Brawler in the chat, Bomber, saying, by the way, the Miami Heat are currently winning. If you listen closely, you can hear the sound of no one caring.
Miami Heat, they haven't been relevant since they had the big 3. No, big shout out to them. I'm glad Dwayne Wade's back in Miami where he belongs, and I hope they have a nice run, but they haven't won anything yet. They're just ahead.
First and goal. I formation, 2 wide receivers for Jack Gerberry. As he drops back to pass, he hot routed that out to the outside. It was well covered. Now he's going to throw it back over the middle. It's picked off. A bad decision. And it looks like that is Verrett with, no, that was Hayward with the pick we talked about in the pregame, Bomber. Where was Jack Gerberry maybe trusting his arm a little too much on that play?
Okay, right there he was looking for an out route on the left side. He's already hit 2 out routes. That would be his 3rd out route. And the Chargers said, you know what? We're waiting on it. We're waiting on it. Do it again. Let's see it again. And right there he trusts his wheels. He runs, he looks, and he just kind of makes a bad throw, forces it in the end zone, and gives up points. And you can't do that in the Super Bowl. But I do believe this ball-hawking secondary is itching for a turnover as well.
Well, handoff to Melvin Gordon over the right side. 56 seconds to go and counting. Gordon gets the carry lip. Even with only 1 timeout left, they're not afraid to run the ball while the clock is running down. A Spirit Charge now following here on Twitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Melvin Gordon can rip off 80 yards, no problem. They don't need a whole bunch of time. They don't really trust their passing attack. They don't want to turn the ball over in this situation. They want to give it to Melvin Gordon and hope that he can do what he does best, which is make a guy miss and take it to the house.
And right there, they ran it for a 2nd straight time. That one not nearly as successful. Loss of 2 on the play. And Minnesota takes their first timeout. Now 3rd and 8. 40 seconds to go in the first half. Shotgun formation for Carson Wentz with 3 wide receivers. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Melvin Gordon to the left of Carson Wentz in the shotgun. Look for Hunter Henry down on the line. They love finding the tight end for big catches. 3rd and 8. It's Wentz dropping back. He's going to roll out of the pocket. He's up to the 20-yard line, waiting, throws all the way across his body. It's a bad throw, and Sutton picks it off, and a turnover the other way. And Lip, we talked about Carson Wentz. We talked about maybe the knock on him is turnovers at a big time. That was a throw that didn't need to be made, and it was right into the hands of the Vikings defense.
We've seen Jack Gerberry roll out to the right, throw back to the left, and it worked, and Carson Wentz right there just makes a terrible read. Should have just ran the ball, punted away, played defense. Poor mistake by Carson Wentz.
So Dahlman with the catch on 1st and 10. He'll go down to the 7-yard line. Bomber, that turnover, the big pick in the end zone, it ends up pretty much not hurting the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, it kind of helps them. It gives the Chargers not an opportunity to even get the ball back and try to score. So here the Vikings are looking to take this lead going into Super Bowl 30, the halftime. This is a big opportunity for this offense.
1st and goal. Gerberry dropping back to pass on 1st down. Waiting, looks underneath, complete to Diggs, and Diggs drops it, but with pretty good reason as the hard-hitting Chargers defense coming up with a big play defensively, forcing a 2nd and goal.
Yeah, big hit right there, laying the lumber. As you see the offensive breakdown, 4 rushes, 16 passes. This is a pass-heavy team, but don't sleep on them. They could run the ball right here and run it in with the best halfback in the league, Dalvin Cook.
But Dalvin Cook toss play to the right side, and the Chargers, I think, heard that and went, nah, we've got the best halfback in the league. Sit down, Mr. Cook. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up a huge 3rd and goal.
Yeah, you got the fast linebacker core of the Los Angeles Chargers able to get to the ball. Their pursuit is phenomenal. 3rd and goal, arguably the biggest play of the game right now. This is an opportunity to take the lead or have to settle for 3.
3rd and goal, shotgun formation for Gerberry. He's got 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 to the right. He's going to split Hutchins wide right against this Chargers defense. He's got Cook to his right. 15 seconds to go. No timeouts remaining for the Vikings, so the throw's probably going to be in the end zone, folks. The Chargers know that one. It's Gerberry dropping back to pass on 3rd and goal. Gerberry rolling out to the right side. Playmaker looking for the guy, and he gets hit as he throws. It'll go out of bounds. It's going to force a 4th and goal. Minnesota's going to get an opportunity to tie this ball game up. But, Bomber, I am impressed with how the Minnesota Vikings offensive line is keeping these talented defensive ends and linebackers from getting the quarterback. Gerberry has all day back there.
Well, no Joey Bosa for the Los Angeles Chargers, to be fair. Gerberry, I'm noticing something with his hot routes. If you're not pressed up on a side of a strong wide receiver where there's space, he's going to put him on an out route and smart route him either to the 1st down marker or to the goal line. We've seen him do it about 5 times this half, so that's something that the Los Angeles Chargers need to pick up on as they head into the 2nd half, and maybe they can bake themselves into an interception.
3 seconds to go. The Chargers are going to come out, the Chargers are going to come out and just take a knee on this one. Lip, I don't know about you. It sort of feels like these teams have come out, I don't want to say timid, but very cautiously, feeling each other out in the first half. They both want this title as we go into halftime 10-10, but it doesn't feel like any one team is playing particularly aggressively.
It seems to me like the Vikings are playing their style of football, which is passing a lot. But you're right. They're not really being as aggressive as they're more talented than what they've shown. They've tried to stay short, tried to stay to those out routes like Ballmer was talking about. And the Chargers have really run the ball They haven't done anything in the pass game that impresses me so far in this game, and that's why we're here. 10-10, start of the second half.
And now Carson Wentz, Chargers, going to get the ball to start the second half. He's in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right, the tight end Henry. Now going to motion from right over to the left. He's got Melvin Gordon to his right hip, and it's going to be Gordon getting the carry on 1st and 10, getting to the outside. He's got some room, blocking up front, and this is where Gordon can get dangerous. Flag down, though. It looks like this one's going to be coming back. It is a block in the back down the field, so he'll still get 5 on the play, but it wipes out a real nice run from MG2K.
Yeah, and they're lucky right there because if Melvin Gordon doesn't pick up some yards, they're in a 1st and 20 or so, and that kind of kills the first drive of the second half here. Melvin Gordon still gets a nice run, comes back 1st and 5. You're still in a good position to start this half.
And Gordon's going to get the carry on 1st and 5. He's got the first down and more. Oh, he cut left. I don't know why he did. I hit all sorts of green space up the right side, but he cuts left and gets taken down to the 49-yard line. A first down, but oh, what it could have been.
I think that he saw a player coming from his right downhill extremely fast, kind of got him worried, but it was his own blocker going down in front of him to make the block that would have had him in the end zone. Just got a little scared there, but still a great run by Melvin Gordon.
I formation, McNichols into the game at halfback. We're going to get a full start on the play, and while we have a pause in the action, we want to remind everybody that Web3KS.com is our graphics sponsor and our pregame sponsor here on NBL Live. If you or anyone you know has graphics needs, whether it's a stream themselves, whether they need just some custom graphics, hit up Web3KS.com. Let them know NBL sent you. You'll get a 15% discount on all of your order. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic designers. Pickle us now following here on Twitch. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate all of our followers and everybody who is hanging with us. Either here on our Twitch, twitch.tv/NBL Network, or hosted over on the EA Madden NFL channel. I am OSU. I'm hanging out with the commissioners of the Madden Bomber League, Bomber and Lip. A great game we have, Season 30 Super Bowl, and folks, we'll be right back here on the EA Madden NFL Twitch next weekend as well. Saturday and Sunday with Week 1 action from Season 31 in the NBL. Lip, you've been here since just about the beginning, and it's crazy to think we're 31 seasons in. We're 204 broadcasts of NBL Live, and we're just looking forward to the next 30 seasons.
Absolutely. We're continuing to grow, continuing to step it up. We want to add more and more new things and just keep testing these boundaries, see where we can go. It's been a heck of a ride. I'm so excited to have 30 seasons behind us, and I'm looking forward to the next 30.
Now 3rd and 6 for the LA Chargers, needing a conversion here. Wentz stepping up, flag down on the play. He finds the tight end Henry for first down. Let's see what this flag is, though. And it's going to be another hold, backing him up another 10 yards. Lip, maybe a product of losing their right guard earlier in the game. That's 2 big penalties, 3 on this drive. We didn't see a penalty called in the first half.
Yeah, and that could be it, because now they're worried about the guy beside him. Can he hold his own? So they've got to try to reach that arm out a little bit further and not get caught, but they're not doing a great job of that so far on this drive. Put them in a terrible 3rd and 16 so far.
Let's see if they can get the conversion on 3rd and 16. Waiting, looking deep down the field for the tight end. Oh, and he almost made the catch on the sidelines, but a nice play defensively, and the Chargers are going to be forced to punt this one away. Lip, the chess match continues as King V Pin now following here on the Twitch. Appreciate the follow. Feels like a real chess match today. Neither team taking control.
Yeah, this drive, Melvin Gordon in the run game was pretty strong. And then Carson Wentz tries to come out and do some things. And I think if he would have hit that inside seam route a little, if he would have been ready to hit it quick, I think that they would have had a possibility of picking up that first time, but he holds onto the ball too long. But that's okay, because it was not a turnover. It was close, but it was not a turnover. They can put their defense back out on the field, but they've got a pretty big challenge in stopping Gerberry now, especially if they're going to open it up.
And now the Minnesota Vikings get their first drive of the second half underway. 10-10 your score in the NBL Season 30 Super Bowl. It's Gerberry in the shotgun. Bunch formation, 3 to the right, 1 over to the left side. Dalvin Cook in the backfield. It's Gerberry dropping back to pass on 1st and 10, waiting. Looks over to the right side. The coverage was great downfield. I don't know what he saw there, Bomber, but didn't look like that pass was going to go for anything. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
What he saw was he saw man coverage. He had a C route on the right side in the buck sail. You got to trust your wide receiver. That's a man beater. He breaks to the outside to corner the C route, and just better defense. And that happens sometimes. He puts his hands on you a little bit, the defender, the cornerback, and he stops your wide receiver from breaking outside. And that's just what happened right there to Gerberry. Not a bad decision. just better defense.
2nd and 10. A big shout out to Madden Goat 3825 for the sub here on Twitch as he looks for Diggs on the post route, but the defense was there to pry that ball free. And you're seeing the Chargers playing a lot of man defense. They got beat underneath early, and so far the Vikings in the second half, they're taking more shots over the top.
Big 3rd down right here, though. 3rd and 10. If they can pick this up, this is going to be huge here for the Minnesota Vikings.
3rd and 10, spread formation, 2 to each side for Jack Gerber. He's got Dalvin Cook to his right. It's going to be Gerber dropping back to pass on 3rd and 10. Looks over to the right side. He has Turner diving catch made at the 33-yard line. It's a 1st down for the Vikings. Gerber 14 to 20, 188 on the day. A real nice conversion there from Jack Gerber. Another accurate throw from the young quarterback.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of slants to clear out the weak side of the field as he pushes routes down the field, but luckily for him, it was man coverage. He had to dig on the right side, and he hit his man wide open for the catch.
And Gerber dropping back, looking deep down the field again, and another almost interception by Hayward. Bomber, do you expect to see the Vikings maybe try to run the ball with Dalvin Cook, or are we just sitting there and we're going to see Gerber chucking it over the top and hoping to beat this man coverage?
Beating the man coverage, they had it a couple times, just a couple drops. I think they're going to stay with the passing game. That's what this team is known for, and let's see if they can pick it up here.
Play action pass, Gerber dropping back on 2nd and 10, and we finally have a sack as Holloman gets in the backfield. It's a loss of 8 on the play. The offensive lines for both sides, Bomber, have been fantastic all day, but right there they were finally able to bring down Jack Gerber.
Yeah, if you want to know a time where you should probably be in cover 2 zone, that's not a bad time to be in it when they're running play action shot, especially if you have the cornerbacks that are going to stay with the wide receivers.
3rd and 18, 3 wide receivers for Gerber, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, 2 in the backfield. In the shotgun as the Chargers now adjusting their defense, 3-man rush. It's Gerber stepping up in the pocket, looking deep down the middle of the field. He has Hutchins, possession catch, 1st down. And that's what the Vikings can do when you play soft defense, Bomber. Everybody backed off. There was only a 3-man rush, and right there, Gerber picked it apart.
Yeah, you're just seeing the effects of the hot routes from the quarterback position. He makes the 3 changes to that route. He blocks a few guys, sends a few guys on some goes, and it really pays dividends for this offense. 1st
and goal. Looks like they're setting up the screen to the right side. He has Dalvin Cook who catches it, and he is turned upfield. He's going to get the 1st down up to the 35-yard line. 12 yards on the play, finding creative ways to get Dalvin Cook the ball, and the Minnesota Vikings have another real nice drive put together. The question, Bomber, is can Jack Gerber keep the ball in his own team's hands this time?
That's a really nice play. If you're familiar and you watch the NFC Championship game, that was ran on the last play. It was 27-20. 3rd and about 6 and 3rd and 5 for the Minnesota Vikings. The 1st down pretty much sealed the game. That's the play that they ran, and they ended up moving the chains on that. So that's a really nice play there for the Minnesota Vikings. Give Dalvin Cook the ball in space. Absolutely love that play call.
Rodney B saying, hi, everyone. Welcome, Rodney. As on 1st and 10, it's Jack Gerber dropping back to pass, looking deep down the field for Diggs. Double coverage. And Diggs comes up with the catch at the 4-yard line. Oh, they had double coverage on the star wide receiver and Bomber. It just didn't matter as Stephon Diggs with a huge catch.
Yeah, some of these catches throughout this playoff run for the Minnesota Vikings have been exactly what they needed at the right time. That's dangerous throw there for Gerber. Probably the second one we've seen on this drive that was a little head-scratching, but it pays dividends for this offense.
And Dalvin Cook's going to finish it off 3 yards up the middle. The Vikings go back on top thanks to a big catch from Stephon Diggs. Bomber, 1,300 yards, 17 touchdowns. People question whether Javonte Turner would take over that number 1 wide receiver spot, and right there, Stephon Diggs making the big play in the big game.
Yeah, Diggs had a drop earlier in this game. NBL Live broadcast number 204. You need to remember this. This is NBL Super Bowl 30. The Minnesota Vikings, this is the coming out party. Hey, we're here and we're about to be Super Bowl champions.
As that one's going to be returned up to the 29-yard line. And now it's up to Carson Wentz and the Chargers to respond. I think if I were to give them advice, and you would know better than I would because I wasn't even in the playoffs. But if I were to give them advice, stick to the game plan as they come out in the Wildcat. Give Melvin Gordon the ball.
Yeah, that's what you've got here on. Carson Wentz has not been a quarterback that's going to lead you in terms of throwing the ball. To get you to the championships, it's all about Melvin Gordon, and that's what they need to stick to. They need to really find the creative ways. I want to see a counter from Melvin Gordon. I think that is where he's going to break loose, and it's all about Melvin Gordon to me.
A nice run there, 12 yards on the play. He's going to get another carry, trying to get outside. Kendricks trying to run him down. Nice angle taken by Kendricks. Not staying east-west, at least backing up a little bit. But Lip, even though the Chargers only have 10 points, even though Gordon hasn't found the end zone, he quietly has 100 yards on the day, and that's what Gordon does.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of the time you don't see Melvin Gordon have a lot of huge runs to get to big numbers. He's just quietly chipping away at those 100-yard games. He's even splitting carries here. They bring in 2 other halfbacks throughout games to take away carries from Gordon. He still finds a way to get it done.
McNichols got the carry, and he's wishing Melvin Gordon took that one, as he got absolutely obliterated in the middle as Kendricks comes up to make the play. And a big 3rd and 3. JY in the chat, did we have a giveaway tonight? We'll be giving away one of those NBL gift packs with that NBL custom controller, some other NBL swag, some gift cards in it, valued at over $150. Again, to our subscribers. That's going to be on Twitter after the game. So follow us on our network Twitter at NBL Network. I don't know when it's going to post there. We'll draw that shortly after the game. Probably after I, have a drink or two after this one, because it's exciting here in the NBL Network. Season 30 Super Bowl. As Wentz dropping back on 3rd and 3, looking over the middle of the field. Oh, they brought a big blitz, and Henry's going to make him pay as he gets up to the 21-yard line. The Chargers are knocking on the door. As we've hit the 4th quarter, 17-10 your score. They brought a big blitz, and Carson Wentz made him pay.
Beautiful play design right there. You've got Hunter Henry. You've got Melvin Gordon coming out. The linebacker's got to pick one to take away, and he comes up on Melvin Gordon, and Hunter Henry's able to sneak behind him, pick up a huge gain, and here we go. The Chargers are knocking on the door. 2 tight ends,
2 wide receivers for Wentz. He drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Looks to the flat. It is Hunter Henry, the tight end, once again. Takes a big hit at the 13-yard line. Carson went 6 of 10, 80 yards, and 2 picks. If you had told me that stat line before the game, I'd say the Chargers were probably down 14-21, but they're still very much in this game.
Yeah, and one of those picks was late in that second half. He just throws across the field. I don't know what he was looking at. Put them in a bad position, but here goes Melvin Gordon.
And he's got a lot of room on the left side. I don't know. Okay, I have no idea. If you drew that path for me, I couldn't tell you what path that was. It seemed like an odd read there on the counter play, but he got the first down up to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You never know where Melvin Gordon's going to go because he can make guys miss in shifty ways and powerful ways. He really does do it all.
Shout out to Forza Blade now following here on Twitch. 1st and goal. Wentz is looking to pass it. Has a man. It's a beautiful pass underneath. Did he get to the end zone? He did. Touchdown Chargers. It looked like the second tight end leaking out from the right side, and the Chargers are an extra point away from tying up the NBL Super Bowl with 5:11 to go. Ball is down. Kick is up. 17-17 Lip. It's a tie ball game. It's going to be a shootout to the finish.
Absolutely beautiful. That's one of the things Carson Wentz does extremely good in passing the ball. He's not afraid to dump it off 2 or 3 yards down the field and let his guys do the work, and that's a prime example of it right there. Beautiful patience, beautiful read, and now you're tied up in the Super Bowl, 4th quarter, 5 minutes left. Here we go.
All right, Bomber. Vikings coming back out on the field. Jack Kirby's been stellar all day. 17-17 your score. Let's see what they can do as they break the huddle. It's Gerberry coming out. It's going to be Cook in the backfield. Gerberry under center. Diggs split out to the left. Turner split out to right. Javonte Turner having a quiet game so far for the Minnesota Vikings after a huge NFC Championship game. It is Gerberry under center as he drops back to pass. Blitz coming. It's picked up nicely. And he looks underneath for Gates. And Gates has some room up past the 45 to the 46-yard line. We're seeing a lot of that from the LA Chargers, Bomber. A lot of man coverage, a lot of blitzes. And so far the Vikings have dealt with it.
That was just a 4-man rush right there, man coverage for the Los Angeles Chargers. They got to get a little bit better disguising the coverage. I think this plays right into the Minnesota Vikings scheme right here. This is a close game, and there's 4 minutes left, and who can put points on the board better than the Minnesota Vikings?
And Dahlman with the catch and giving himself up before he can take that big hit. You're a big tight end, man. Take the hit.
Yeah. I mean, we got to play for something here, man. 2nd and 2. If you stall out here, you'll kind of question why he would give himself up. Rather than make a play or a juke. I mean, you gotta come play football, man. We're trying to play some football here, so kind of concerning right there. Unless he's trying to, maybe he had a hamstring pull or tweak something. Kind of head scratching for me if I'm a Vikings fan right now.
4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Dalvin Cook in the backfield on 2nd and 2, 4:20 and counting. As Gerber dropping back, blitz coming, he gets it off quickly to Stephon Diggs. And credit the Minnesota offensive line, but credit Jack Gerber. He is getting rid of the ball quickly and is not waiting too long to get rid of that.
Yeah, he had a man coming off the edge. I know he saw him, but he just had to wait for the route to break and the receiver to turn and actually look at him. And that's actually what happened. I mean, great job by Gerberry getting rid of the ball. Great awareness. That was one of the better throws I've seen him make today.
And Dalvin Cook takes the carry, spin move back up the middle of the field, and he gets the first down. And boy, Dalvin Cook had some nasty spin moves in the NFC Championship game, and he broke one of them out right there. Another first down for the Minnesota Vikings as they're down to the 27-yard line. Again, we appreciate all of you tuning in to the NBL Live Season 30 Super Bowl. Vikings and Chargers. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with the two commissions, Lip and Bomber. We got a great game on tap to crown a champion. Be sure to hit that follow button so you know each and every time we go live. We'll be back once again next week, Saturday and Sunday on the EA Madden NFL channel as Dalvin Cook gets the catch out to the right side. Bomber, next week, Saturday night and Sunday night, we'll have week 1 action for season 31. In between there, we'll have our NBL rookie draft. It's a great time to be a follower here of the NBL Network.
Yeah, absolutely. The rookie draft's a fun, relaxed show, about a couple hours long. You get to see all the rookies' attributes as they come out. So you want to check that out. If you can, stop by. We'll have the times posted on our Twitter at Bomberly.
And shotgun formation, bunch formation, 3 to the right, Diggs out to the left. Look for him on that double move. It is 1-on-1, 2nd and 6. It is Gerberry stepping up in the pocket. Gerberry's going to be taken down from behind. He'll gain a yard on the play. But a nice job by the Chargers not letting him get up to the first down marker. And a huge 3rd and 4 for the Chargers defense, hoping to hold him to a field goal.
Yeah, they're waiting for that man coverage. Another out route, hot routed to the right side. He's looking for that easy read to pick it up, but the Chargers have not bid on that yet.
3rd and 4. It's Gerberry in the pocket. 4-man rush, and Gerberry gets hit. Ball comes out. It's going to be an incomplete pass, but what a job by the Chargers defense, Bomber. Coming up with a huge stop to force Minnesota into a field goal. And as the kick is up, it is good. The Vikings take the lead 20-17, but the Chargers, all 3 timeouts, 2:50 to go, a drive to possibly win the Season 30 Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're talking ball hawking defense here for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm kind of concerned right now if I'm a Chargers fan. I feel a turnover's coming right now. A big pick from Carson Wentz could be incoming, and we've seen all those hit sticks throughout this game. I feel like a fumble might be in route here for this Los Angeles Chargers offense.
Lip, I'm setting the over-under at, are you going to take the over the under of 4 passes thrown by Carson Wentz on this drive? Because I think it's going to be all run game all day long.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing is they have the time to do it with 2 minutes and 47 seconds here, all 3 timeouts. It's easy to say that could be just enough time for them.
A nice screen pass there out to McNichols to the right side. Wentz doesn't even have 100 yards passing in this game as Unkillahheels 919 now following here on Twitch. But he's been efficient. A couple turnovers has really been the difference in this game. They've been doing it on the ground, though, and we see Melvin Gordon back into the game at halfback. 2 wide receivers out there, 1 to each side. This is going to be a toss play to Melvin Gordon. He's going to cut it back up the middle. Boy, and that's what makes Gordon the best running back in the league, Lip. It is the ability to see it's a toss play. The blocking just isn't there to get around the edge. Let me get the 2 yards up the middle and make sure we don't set us back even farther.
Yeah, that's a great read by those linebackers. They both came flying out to the left side, recognized the toss right away, but countered by the amazing patience by Gordon to be able to cut it up inside, almost stop in his tracks immediately, cut it up inside, and still pick up 2 yards.
2nd and 8. It's Wentz driving back to pass. He looks, he had a man, and the timing off on that one, on the little C route by the fullback, had him open, but sailed that one. Lucky that one wasn't intercepted. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of trusting my fullback on the drive to win the game in the Super Bowl, so he's not used to running those routes there.
Now 3rd and 8 for the Chargers. A first down here is crucial. Down 3, 2:12 to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Wentz under center. Gordon in the backfield. 3 wide receivers. 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right side. 1 tight end. Henry on the right side of that formation. On 3rd and 8, they're going to give it to Melvin Gordon. And guess what Gordon's going to do? He's going to pick up the first down. Just when it looked like they were stuck in a passing situation, the Chargers do what the Chargers have done all year, Lip, which is mix up the playbook and let their 2,000-yard running back pick up the first down.
Melvin Gordon is so valuable to this offense, but you saw the Vikings there. They weren't stacked too heavy in the box there, and that Chargers offense saw a perfect opportunity to give it the ball to their amazing running back, Melvin Gordon, and he gets the job done.
1st and 10. It's going to be Gordon getting the ball once again right up the middle, 50-yard line, 3 yards on that play. Call it a long 2. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. If you're expecting the Chargers to air it out, Lip, that's just not what they do.
No, and we've seen the time to air it out for the Chargers is at the start of the game. That's when they really like to go pass heavy, but we didn't see a lot of it tonight. It's been all about Melvin Gordon, and they're just at midfield here.
A handoff up the middle to Melvin Gordon to the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 4, and now another 3rd down opportunity. They're not using their timeouts. They're really letting this clock run down, but without a conversion here, they're in trouble.
Absolutely. This is the biggest moment of the game right now so far. I don't know if it's Melvin Gordon time or not, or if you put it on the shoulders of Carson Wentz. Let's see how it goes.
Shotgun formation for Wentz. He's going to drop back to pass on 3rd and 4. 4-man rush from the Minnesota Vikings. He's taking a deep shot down the left side. Does he have a man? It's caught. It's a touchdown as Williams goes up and trucks it out of the air.
Wow.
Touchdown Chargers. They take the lead with 1:05 to go.
I was just about to kill Carson Wentz for missing the easy drag. The guy in motion coming across the field, he was wide open right away, but you saw Williams get behind the entire defense, and Carson Wentz throws it up, and the big man goes and makes a spectacular Super Bowl catch. Unbelievable.
1:05 to go. Mike Williams used all of his 6'4" frame. He took the contact, lands on his feet, and walks into the end zone. But now with 1:02 to go, Bomber, the Vikings need a touchdown. And if there's probably 3 quarterbacks in this league I'd be comfortable with having the ball with a minute to go and needing a touchdown, it's Roethlisberger, it's Stafford, and it's this guy, Jack Gerberry.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable. If I'm a Vikings fan right now, I say, hey, man, this is why we drafted you 6 overall, NBL Season 28 rookie draft. It's time to make some plays.
And on 1st and 10, it's Gerberry rolling out to the right side, taking a deep shot down the middle of the field for Turner, who takes a big hit but holds onto the ball at the 50-yard line. The big players making big catches here in the Super Bowl. And now 49 seconds and counting. It is Jack Gerberry in the shotgun. He's going to move the bunch formation over to the left side. Turner alone on the right. Dalvin Cook to his right. 41 seconds and counting. Gerberry dropping back to pass. Looks underneath. It is complete to Dalvin Cook. And he's going to go down to the 36-yard line, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yeah, huge conversion so far from Jack Gerberry. It hasn't taken that deep shot. Well, I guess he already has, and he's already at the 36, but I still feel like he's got one more in him.
And shotgun formation again. 3 wide receivers. Dalman, the tight end, on the right side. It's Gerberry dropping back. Another 3-man rush from the Vikings. And he's going to find the tight end, Dalman, who shakes the tackle. He's got the first down and more. And steps out of bounds at the 20-yard line. It only took him 30 seconds, Bomber, but they are 20 yards away from going back on top here in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you got to be concerned right now if you're the Chargers. You kind of don't know what to do. Do you want to get aggressive? Do you want to play drop coverage? You don't want to give him too much time. You know he's good with the playmaker. Absolutely love this final drive from the Vikings, but this is what I expect. They've been doing it all year, and I'm not surprised at all.
And on 1st and 10, it's Jack Gerberry dropping back to pass. Rush coming up the middle. Down goes Gerberry. The defensive line making a big play as an insta-shed in the middle brings down Gerberry for a sack. Minnesota used their first timeout, loss of 5 on the play. And if you're a Vikings fan, you're happy just to see Jack Gerberry getting up from that hit.
Yeah, see, he was looking at the post route right there. That was a walk-in touchdown. That was a risky defensive call. Right here, you want to watch Hutchinson Dahlman right here. I'm concerned right now with the look here. I think the Vikings might have a big play coming up.
2nd and 15, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. The tight end, Dahlman, in the slot on the right side. Cook to the left of Jack Gerberry. 25 seconds from becoming historic here in the NBL. They're down 4. They need a touchdown. Play clock down under 17, and Gerberry's going to change the play up and bring everybody tight to the formation. Dalvin Cook now on his right hip. 25 seconds to go. It's Gerberry dropping back to pass on 2nd and 15. Rush coming, he dumps it off to Turner, but it's in the middle of the field, and Minnesota's going to be forced to take their second timeout. 19 seconds left, 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8, big play right here. Watch over the middle of the field. The Vikings already used that swing pass. I know they wish they had it right now. That would definitely be a play they would be looking at using to pick up a lot of yards, a low risk kind of play right there. Maybe they got a couple more tricks in their bag. 19 seconds left. NBL Season 30 Super Bowl. It doesn't get any better than this.
3 wide receivers out there once again for the Vikings. 2 over to the right, 1 to the left. The tight end, Dahlman, in the slot on the right, and Cook in the backfield. And the Chargers are going to gift them 5 yards. Now, it's relevant for 3rd down because it cuts into a 3rd and 3 Bomber, but I think this Chargers team actually plays better defensively the shorter the field, so it's not really a big deal to them that they're 5 yards closer to the end zone.
Well, my only thing was you had to deal with those 4 downs. If it was 3rd and 8 and you saw an incompletion there, you can kind of play to the 4th down, but I absolutely understand what you're saying. Less field behind you, more aggressive. You can play about the field in front of you. So I think this might benefit the Chargers a little bit, but I don't like to give the Minnesota Vikings anything This offense is too explosive. You don't want to give them anything. Put them in a 3rd and 3. Now Cook can run the ball once, and that's dangerous enough.
Shotgun formation for Jack Gerber. Cook to his left. He's going to drop back to pass on 3rd and 3. Looks deep down the middle of the field. It's Hutchin with a catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. 16 seconds to go. Jack Gerber with a perfect throw to the back of the end zone, and Hutchins made sure he looked that one into his arms. Now the extra point. The kick is up. It is good. I'm surprised the Chargers didn't go after that one, Bomber, after the way that their AFC Championship game went. But now 16 seconds to go, the Chargers, they need a field goal. They got 2 timeouts, but what a throw by Jack Gerberry.
Yeah, nice throw, nice patience. Not surprised at all. I've seen it a million times. Nice throw over the middle of the field, high pass. Great read, great throw, and they just got down the field too easily, and it put the Chargers in just a really tough spot. I think if they would have been back in that 3rd and 8, I think they were looking more towards picking up the first down than going straight for the touchdown. They got to the 13. It's kind of a little soft spot because you can still kind of get over top of the defense. Once you're at the 9-yard line, it kind of ends that. So a nice play and nice awareness there from Jack Gerberry.
Big shout out to HK Legacy subscribing here on Twitch. Shotgun formation for Wentz. 16 seconds left. Do they have another rabbit to pull out of the hat? 1st and 10. Wentz drops back, sits in the pocket, looks over the middle of the field, has a man. It is complete. It's Williams once again. 9 seconds left. Chargers use their 2nd timeout lip. It was Tyrell Williams, the hero, a couple seasons ago, come up with a big catch. They're probably 15 yards away from a tying field goal attempt.
Unbelievable. He's pressed up there. He was able to beat the man coverage, get behind that guy, and Wentz makes a beautiful throw.
Does he have another one in him? 49-yard line. They need to get a field goal. 9 seconds left. Only 1 timeout remaining for the Chargers. It's Wentz dropping back to pass. 7 seconds left. Looking. 5 seconds left. Looks over the middle of the field. It's caught at the 30-yard line. Timeout by the Chargers. God. They're going to have an opportunity to send the Super Bowl to overtime.
Here we go. We saw special teams be huge in the AFC Championship. Let's see what happens here.
They're going to give him another 5 yards. As it looks like Tapper trying to get the block from the 24-yard line. This one a 41-yard attempt. To tie it up, the Vikings are going to take their timeout to try to ice the kicker, folks.
Ice him, baby.
This one will decide this. Oh, he's not iced at all. He's ready to kick this. Can they tie it up and send it to overtime? Ball's down. Kicks up. It's true. And we're headed to overtime in the season 30 Super Bowl lip. What a drive by Carson Wentz and the LA Chargers.
Absolutely unbelievable. We talked about Carson Wentz is not going to kill you with his arm, but boy, he did it right there. Put all the pressure on himself, made some incredible throws, incredible reads, and then the kicker ties it up, and we got overtime in the Super Bowl.
And it's
Lip, hey, I want to interject here. That last play when he threw it over the middle and took the field goal, I thought he had one-on-one coverage on the far left side. He had a guy on a go route. I said, hey, man, that's as good as it's going to get. You've already wasted too much time in the pocket. Instead, he threads the needle to some trusted hands, puts him in field goal range. What a game. I absolutely cannot believe what's going on.
And here we go, overtime in the season 30 Super Bowl. The Chargers getting the ball first. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. And Melvin Gordon in the backfield. Didn't see the ball on that last drive, but I expected him to get a couple carries on this one. As we're in overtime, and it's Carson Wentz dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking, rolling to the right side. He's being chased, waiting. And he's going to take a sack there. Couldn't get rid of the ball, and Kendricks brings him down for an 8-yard loss. A major mistake lip by Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz has to know that he only has one guy on that design coming short. The other guy's going deep down the field. If that's not there, he has to throw it away. Cannot take a sack there.
2nd and 18, shotgun formation for Wentz. The tight end, Henry, who's been quiet today, moves from the right to the left side. 3 wide receivers as Wentz drop back to pass. They're going to throw the screen to Melvin Gordon. The Vikings were oh so ready for that one. And now the Chargers, after the huge ending drive, are in trouble. 3rd and 21. The last thing you want to do is give the ball back to the Minnesota Vikings offense, needing only a field goal to win the title.
After 2 questionable plays here to start this overtime, now you're in a terrible position. If you punt it away, they only need a field goal. If you try to go too aggressive now, you could turn it over and give them the ball in field goal range. This is a huge play for Carson Wentz and these Chargers.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Hunter Henry, the tight end, on the slot in the right, and it's Melvin Gordon to the left of Carson Wentz in the shotgun. On 3rd and 21, it's Wentz dropping back, only a 3-man rush. Waiting, looks over the middle of the field. A diving attempt from Keenan Allen, but he cannot come up with a catch. That's a catch. We've seen Keenan Allen making the pass, but couldn't make it there. Advantage, Minnesota Vikings.
Carson Wentz rips it just a little bit too hard. Allen has to lay out for that. He should come up with it because he's a great receiver with great hands. but just wasn't able to come up with it.
And Ingram takes the punt, and he's up past the 45 to the 50. Uh-oh, this is bad news, Bears. He's taken down to the 39-yard line. Bomber, the Vikings are basically in field goal range already as they put the conservative ball carrier on. I expect to see a lot of Dalvin Cook on this drive.
Yeah, this game's over. I'm calling it right now. The Vikings got it. As long as they don't choke away a field goal, I don't see it happening. This has got to be it. 39-yard line. What a great punt return, great field position. You can't ask for anything more. Give it to your former MVP of your team and give it to him on one of his favorite plays as he goes back a couple yards there. Not to worry, only a yard. They're still at the 40. This is an easy field goal. I would actually think maybe just run the ball up the middle. Let's not get too cute. Let's keep them going downhill. I don't want to lose any yards.
27-27 overtime here in the season 30 Super Bowl in Minnesota. Be a 57-yard attempt from here, a makeable field goal. They're going to come out I formation, Diggs to the left, Turner to the right. It looks like the Vikings are going to be looking to pass this ball. Let's see if the Chargers are ready for that one, if they're going to commit to that run. On 2nd and 11, it's Gerber dropping back to pass. Waiting, looking deep down the field. Has a man. It's caught by Diggs. And Diggs is down to the 5-yard line. And this one might be blouses, folks. That's a huge throw from Gerber to who else but Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, nice post route right there. That was just too easy. Too much time. You saw him adjust to the out route again on the right side. That just seems to be having no look, but they're so concentrated on that. It's just shifting the safety and the cornerback on the weak side, and now you got a post coming over the middle of the field.
Hand off to Cook up the middle. He'll lose a yard on the play.
Oh, I just kicked the field goal here. It's really not worth the risk of fumbling. I know you turned on conservative ball carrier, but, man, I would just probably take the knee. And here he goes. He's going to go for the field goal to win this game.
Do the Chargers have another miracle block in them? It's up. It's good. The Minnesota Vikings are your Super Bowl champions for season 30, a 30-27 win over the LA Chargers. What a victory as Jack Gerber cements his legacy, Bomber. A huge win for a young team that looks like they're only going to get stronger for years to come.
Yeah, you look at Jack Gerber, you didn't see him make any mistakes at the end of the game. I mean, this is a guy in his 3rd year in the NBL, and what does he do? He comes out here and he just makes play after play after play, and then the crunch time, they were down 24-20. They drive down the field, he hits the seam route for the touchdown. I mean, truly phenomenal. And actually, I'm being corrected. He's from Florida State University. This is his 2nd year in the NBL, not his 1st year. And I'm sorry about that, but it just seems like his 3rd year, excuse me. It just seems like he's been in there forever. As calm, cool, and collective as he looked, you just can't run cover 2 against him. The Chargers should have known that coming in. Nice post route over the middle. Just too easy, too much athleticism on that side, and the arm is just too strong and too good. Jack Gerber is now my choice for the Super Bowl MVP of NBL Season 30.
Important question to the 2 members of the Champions Club in the NBL. It's TD Prime saying, is there a new member of the Champions Club with Hop's victory?
No, absolutely not. No.
That's fair.
There are so many things that go into the Champions Club outside of a single Super Bowl win. Congratulations to Hop. It's just not
Hey,
Champions
Kyle asked
Club.
the same thing.
Yeah,
No.
settle that. Lip, before we do our play, let's get rid of player of the game. Jack Gerber was absolutely fantastic. Bomber said it. He's going to be your player of the game. I'm not even going to ask for input on that one. I made the decision. Jack Gerber, your player of the game here for the Super Bowl and for NBL Live Broadcast 204. You can check out all of our NBL Live player of the game on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com, all the way back to broadcast number 1. You can also apply for the NBL if you're interested in joining. Lip, the LA Chargers once again coming up short in the Super Bowl. This one, they could just taste it. A huge comeback. That sack taken by Wentz really deflated them. And when it comes down to overtime, it's those plays that just come back to bite them. A great season once again. But do you start to question if the Chargers have what it takes to win a Super Bowl?
I talked about it in the pregame. I think that this secondary has gotten to the point where this was the year. This is the final point where I think now that they're going to start to drop off early in the playoffs. They're still going to be good in the regular season, but they're going to drop off earlier in the playoffs. But the big thing that stood out to me about these Chargers tonight was their just complete inability to do a whole lot in the pass game. I know they had a couple good plays down there to tie the game up and to put themselves in a good situation, but to start overtime, they were just completely lost. Carson Wentz knows his play, knows what's coming to the side of the field he's rolling to, and just stands there and takes a sack and starts the overtime off in a terrible way. So I'm just not convinced that they can do anything other than play defense, which is falling apart. and run the ball with Melvin Gordon. I think that they are just becoming so one-dimensional that I think the window for a Super Bowl has closed.
Bomber, Jack Gerber goes for 404 yards. Let's put a neat little bow on season 30, a monumental season here in the NBL Network and in the NBL. I think we had, by far, since I've been here, the best lineup of games, crazy finishes. How appropriate is it that the NBL Super Bowl goes to overtime after the year that we've had on the NBL Network?
It was just so fitting. I mean, it doesn't really, if it was a New Era hat and it was Hound's head, it'd be a perfect 9 3/8 to fit around that big dome. But it was just so fitting for an ending for what we've done and accomplished this season in the NBL, being hosted on the EA Madden NFL Twitch channel. Another great opportunity and privilege for us to be on that channel. So big shout out to those guys that made it happen. Z Farls, John White, man, everybody involved. Appreciate it. Mills, everybody who helped with that. So to have it wrap up, well, it's not wrapped though, because we got a back-to-back next week. But to have this season wrapped up the way it was and finished the way it was, I mean, truly phenomenal. What a game. I mean, if we could all vote back on the game of the year,
yeah,
I think it'd be right here at the game we just watched over the last hour and a half.
And Lip, as we look forward, season 31 coming up, we'll have our NBL Rookie Draft on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, right here on twitch.tv/NBL Network. Back on the EA Madden NFL Twitch Saturday and Sunday with Week 1 games. And I don't even know. We're 31 seasons into the NBL. I don't even know what to expect anymore. It seems like every year something else surprises us.
Yeah, as people get more and more comfortable in the league, in the game, you see all these great matchups. Like we've talked about the last 2 seasons, we've seen the matchups get so much better, so much more intense. You're seeing new rivalries being formed, and we're just going to continue growing that as we keep on going, and it's going to go strong into NBL season 31.
Big shout out to Arsco Than, now subscribing here on the NBL Network. Give us a follow over on Twitter at NBL Network and at Bomberly. At NBL Network is where we'll draw that NBL gift pack for our subscribers. So you'll still got some time to get in that if you hit that subscribe button. But what a season. A big heartfelt thank you not only to our friends over at the EA Madden NFL Twitch, but to everybody who hung out with us today and has seen us throughout the last couple of Saturdays. We hope we'll see you next Saturday on the EA Madden NFL Twitch. We hope we'll see you during the week on our NBL live broadcast. Another fantastic season here on the NBL Network. For my co-hosts, the commissioners themselves, Bomber and Lip, I'm OSU, your NBL Network director. Congratulations to the Minnesota Vikings, the champions of season 30 here in the NBL. We'll see you Wednesday night for the rookie draft and next year throughout the year right here on NBL Live.